Welcome back to another video style crew. If you are new here, I am Rio. In today's video, I have some Mitchell & Ness jersey pickups. Allen Iverson, one of my favorite players of all time. I wouldn't consider him to be the best player of all time. That's reserved for Michael Jordan in my opinion. Some folks may say LeBron. I'm not entirely sure why, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I am not here to argue that. But Iverson, for me, growing up, had such a huge impact. In the early 2000s, a lot of people, including myself, just admired Allen Iverson. Maybe it could have been just 6 foot, 6'1", whatever they say he was, 165 pounds, 170 pounds, in a league of big, tall dudes dominating. It was just something that being young, like, 11, 12, 13, and seeing that, you couldn't help but admire it. From the braids, the tats, the arm sleeves, the headbands. If you were a teenager growing up in that time, chances are you had a headband, some arm sleeve, or some braids. I had all of the above. I had the headbands, arm sleeve, I had the braids, and you couldn't tell me nothing. I had the shoes, the jerseys. I thought I was the man. So I talked about it in the past when I bought some champion jerseys a couple years ago. I had an Iverson jersey that I picked up, and I talked about how big of a fan I was of Iverson. And of course, to this day, I'm still a huge fan, and I don't really see that changing. There was an interview with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson had All the Smoke with Iverson a few weeks ago rather, maybe a month at this point. And it's an hour or so long, dope interview. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll link it down below in the description section if you want to check it out if you have that time to spare. It's a dope interview. He had the documentary. There's a lot of Iverson stuff out there for you to learn about him if you don't really know who Iverson is, although I'm sure you probably already do. But amazing documentary. This is just a cool ass dude in general. I would love to get a chance to meet him one of these days if I ever have the opportunity. I would love for it to happen. But it was important for me to grab some jerseys. I haven't had, except for that champion jersey, I haven't had an Iverson jersey in a very, very long time. So I may have went a little overboard. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 jerseys that I picked up. And if you know Mitchell & Ness, they're not cheap. These are all authentic jerseys, which they cost a pretty penny. I'm not here to talk about the prices and the price tags, but if you know, you know. I'm gonna be getting into every single jersey that I picked up and kind of give you a little backstory on why I bought it. But there's one jersey in particular. There's one jersey that kind of started this whole thing, and I actually bought a whole bunch of jerseys. These are just a select few, which I kind of just want to start with the Iversons. I got so much respect and admiration for Iverson, and it stemmed from my childhood, and really hasn't changed. What he does in his personal life, that's his personal life. He talked about it in an interview with growing and maturing the mistakes he's made. But just what he did on the basketball court as a young child and seeing that, you can't help but just have admiration for that. How this all happened, years ago, I had my old laptop, which I don't really use as much anymore. I used to create bookmarks and folders of things I would like to buy at some point. And one of these jerseys was a bookmark that I wanted to buy. A Mitchell & Ness jersey, and right now I have the same exact jersey. Stay tuned, I'm gonna tell you what jersey that is towards the end of the video. You gotta watch the video, of course, to find out. I just wanted to buy that jersey, and over the time I just never did it. So not too long ago, I was going through that laptop and kind of looking at some of the old stuff I had saved on it, and I came across those bookmarks, and of course those listings, they were eBay listings, and of course those listings weren't available anymore. But I was looking at it and I was like, I still want that jersey. And back then, the price, I wasn't really willing to spend on it. But now I was like, I think I'm gonna get that jersey. So it took me down a whole rabbit hole of like jerseys and Mitchell & Ness jerseys. And the first one I bought, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't, because I didn't really understand the whole Mitchell & Ness jersey thing. So I had a lot of learning to do. There's a lot of trial and a lot of error. I made some mistakes, but I've learned, and I kind of understand what I'm doing now. So stay tuned. I'm gonna break down to you which jerseys it was, which jersey I bought first, and all that stuff. Anyway, now that's out of the way, let's hop into the pickups. Hope you enjoy. So here I have my buddy. He doesn't really get a chance to be on the channel that often, but he's gonna help me show these jerseys off to you. And he's been on the channel once before, which was my office unboxing. That was his first feature. I think I'm gonna, kind of let him be in the videos sometimes. I don't have a name for him. I just call him one of the homies, but let me know if I should give him a name, and if you have any ideas or options, drop it down below in the comment section. Anyway, I think he's positioned in a good place. So we're just gonna hop into the first jersey. All right, so these aren't gonna be in the order from the way I picked them up. I'm gonna be doing them in order from how they were actually worn. So this is a 96-97 home jersey, the one Iverson wore in his rookie year. And this was actually the first jersey that he wore in his debut, dropping 30 points, 6 assists as a rookie in his first game. This jersey is immaculate. The stitching, just the fit. I'm 6'1", about 173 pounds, and all of the jerseys that I'm gonna be showing you are gonna be a size medium. So if you wanna grab some jerseys, you can kind of use that as your size reference. There's not a whole lot to say about the jersey. If you know Iverson, you know the Sixers, especially in this era, this is a jersey that they wore. Flip around my buddy here. Kind of see that. Iverson number 3. Just the trim and the sides, everything about this jersey is just so dope. You know, my homie here, he's armless and he's harmless, but so it, you know, it won't look as normal. It won't look as normal as it would on a person. I copped this one on eBay. Again, I'm not gonna tell you how much I paid for it. I also have to get the kicks to go along with it too. You probably already know what those are. I'll be featuring those in my sneaker pickup here in the next few weeks. So this is pickup number 1. Let's hop into the next one. So if you have the home, of course you gotta have the road jersey. Pretty much the same exact jersey, although this one is just in red. Triple stitch, just like the last one. Everything is stitched. Beautiful, beautiful jersey, beautiful construction. Everything, it just looks dope, man. It looks so dope. So I had to make sure I got both of those. And yeah, I had a list of things I wanted. The first 2 aren't the ones that was a part of those bookmarks I told you about earlier. When we get to that, I'm gonna tell you, it's a little bit closer to the end of the pickups. I just had to have both of them, the home, the road, and every jersey that I'm gonna be showing you is every jersey that I wanted. I think I'm good with the Iverson jerseys now because I have everything I could possibly want. As a matter of fact, there's one I'm still missing. I'm gonna tell you that at the end. There's one I'm missing that I'm hopefully I can get when the prices come down a little bit on them. 96-97 home, and then the 96-97 road. And yeah, let's move on to the next jersey. Then we have the blue alternate 96-97. When I started buying these jerseys, this was the first one that I bought, but I bought it in a swingman and I had no clue really what the differences were. So to my surprise, I learned that older Mitchell & Ness swingman jerseys used to have stitched details, but the newer ones, like the new ones you buy on Fanatics, NBA Store, and Fans Edge, and all that stuff, those are heat pressed, and I didn't know. So I bought it, got it in, and was just taken back by how it looked. Not just that, how it fit, which was the worst part. I could have got past the heat press twill and all that stuff, but the fit was just too short. You know, I'm a tall dude, and having a jersey that stops like here, it just doesn't cut it for me. I needed that length because jerseys aren't meant to look like that really. If you're short, it'll work for you, but if you're tall, it doesn't look good. At least that's how I feel towards it. So I returned that and just kept patient and thinking to myself, like, you know what? If I'm gonna get an Iverson jersey, it cannot be a swingman. It has to be authentic because I just had too much respect for him as a player. Not to say like, you know, swingmans are bad. It had to be authentic. But then I told myself, like, you know what? With all these jerseys that you're buying, certain players have to be authentic. And those were Jordan, Iverson, and Melo. Anything else could be a swingman and I really wouldn't care as long as it was stitched. Now, as I mentioned, I did buy a whole bunch of Mitchell & Ness jerseys in these past 2 months. I'm gonna be sharing those with you here at some point. I'm not gonna share everything at once. I'll kind of break it up into separate videos. But I did damage with the jerseys, a lot of damage. So you guys will be seeing quite a bit of jersey content. If you like jerseys, then stay tuned. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Starting with the Iversons, what I feel like I wanted to do. So that's what I'm doing. The reason why this blue jersey with the filler was so like, this one to me meant more than the first 2 I showed you, is because growing up, I had, as I mentioned, I was a big fan, but I had tons of like posters and stuff I ripped out of magazines all over all over the walls in my room when I was in high school. So my wall was full of Iverson, Aaliyah, and Tupac. Those were like, that was all over my room. Iverson was on the cover of Slam magazine wearing this jersey. And ever since then, I just wanted to have that jersey and I never had it. So when I saw it, I was like, I gotta get that. And yeah, I messed up with the swingman. But I recently just got this one in maybe like a week or 2 ago on mitchellandness.com. I did use a promo code with taking like 15%, so I didn't spend exact retail. It was definitely a must cop for me. Every single jersey I've paid under retail. Now some may have been a little bit closer to retail than I would have liked, but I didn't pay exactly retail or over, thankfully. That blue filler, I don't know, something about it that I just think is so dope. And the other two I think is like a little more iconic maybe, but this one, I don't know, this one is definitely one of the doper ones. The first jersey I showed, everyone knows that for being the one he crossed Jordan in. This isn't one that you really see people really talk about as often or wear, so I don't know, man. I really wanted this, had to get it. So I did. All right, so here we have the next jersey, and I know it looks just like the previous one, and I promise you it's different. Now, the first one was your traditional polyester jersey material. This one is 100% wool. Now, a lot of you might be asking yourself, or asking me rather, Rio, why would you buy two of the same jerseys that look exactly alike? It's a good question, my friend, it's a good question. I really don't have the exact answer for that, other than the fact that I just wanted it. I just wanted to get this one too. Now, the reason why I got this one is because when I was in high school, I used to have a jersey, I believe it was terry cloth, so it wasn't exactly wool. So terry cloth is more of a cotton material. That one was a darker blue and had gnats on it in cursive, which I think was like paying homage to like an older throwback or something close to that. I'm not exactly sure what the history is. I'm sure some of you out there may know, but I had that jersey, and over the years, I have no clue what happened to it. Granted, the fact it was probably like a 3X or 4X because that's kind of what we did back then. So when I saw this, I knew immediately I wanted to get it, but I didn't want to pay the price tag on it. Now I'm gonna tell you that this one retails for 400 bucks. I am not paying 400 bucks for a jersey. I just wasn't doing it. So I wasn't gonna buy it. One day I'm browsing, and at this time I hadn't bought the other one I just showed you. I came across a website that I was familiar with, but I never bought from it before because I think they're a German website, BSTN, which I think stands for Beastin. This was like half off plus some. And I'm sitting there looking at it like, is this legit? Like, I've heard of this website before, but something doesn't feel right about this price. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just roll the dice, take a gamble, and just order it and to kind of see what happens. Lo and behold, like 2 days later, keep in mind what I just said, 2 days later. This jersey took like 2 days to get to me. Heck, if you order from Mitchell & Ness in the US, it takes like 2 weeks. It came and it's perfect. It's 100% legit. I paid more than half off for it. It fits just like the other one, but it's wool, which is, I think, one of the dopest things you can do. So this was a collaboration done with Mitchell & Ness and Clot. I don't really know too much about Clot other than the fact I guess they do wool apparel. Didn't really know about that. All the lettering, all the numbers is part of the actual body, so there's nothing stitched on it except for the NBA logo up there. Man, it's just it's so dope. It looks just like the other one, except for the fact that everything is wool on the jersey. And this, it could be a great colder weather jersey. Throw it over a hoodie, throw it over a long sleeve tee, and you're good to go. So that's the reason why I grabbed this one, and let's move on to the next one. So now we're stepping into a different era of the Sixers jerseys. All of the ones I showed you previously, he wore in his rookie year, the white, the red, and then the other two, which were blue, were both alternates. This style of jerseys, when I really started to know who Iverson was and became like a huge fan, like an elite fanboy at that point. This particular style of jersey is what was worn the following year, which is the 97-98, which was, of course, after his rookie season, with the thinner shoulders. As some of you know, like 1999, early 2000s, they wore the wider shoulder jerseys, which is what I used to have back in the day. But I more so wanted to have this, and this style at least. So again, this is the home Sixers 97-98. The graphic on this is so dope. Again, it's an authentic Mitchell & Ness. Everything is stitched in there. Everything has that embroidery to it. When I was in high school, I remember having this project or something. I think I was in 9th grade. And I believe the project was, we had to write to somebody we admired. And of course, being like 14 and being a complete Iverson fanboy, I decided to write mine to Iverson. I sent a letter and a card. And I think something in the letter, I even wrote something about watching the game when he had his career high, which I think was like 54 points, something like that. I don't know, it was a long letter. I don't know what I was saying, but he didn't write back, but I got something back, which probably from like his manager or something like that. And kind of like a very generic response. However, it was At least it appeared to be his actual signature. And I still have this thing. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. So this is it. And I know you can't really see it, but I'll give you some B-roll of it. It says, "From the desk of Allen Iverson, dear fan, thank you so much for writing me. I appreciate your support. Due to the large volume of requests I receive, I am unable to fulfill all of them. For more information, visit me on the web at www.crossover-promotions.com and join my official fan club, the Crossover Fan Club. Respectfully, Allen Iverson, number 3, Philadelphia 76ers." And it has his exact signature, and I can tell because it's written in ink, which I thought was so dope. For that reason, I kept it. It didn't come on this red little cardboard thing. I cut out the actual part of the letter and put it on this, and I'm gonna keep this, forever. That just goes to show you how big of an Iverson fan that I was and really still am. You see the number 3, flip it around. You got the Iverson on the back, number 3. To me, this is so iconic. It's such a dope jersey. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about this one. There's not too much to say about it. 97, 98, home with the thinner shoulders. Oh, before I forget, I got this one on eBay. An eBay seller had it. Decent price for what they're usually going for. And again, we're in the retail, authentic, brand new. Can't pass it up. So remember the one I was telling you about that kind of started this whole interest in wanting to buy these jerseys? This is it. A few years ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I had those bookmarks saved, and I had like 3 of these saved as bookmarks at things to buy at some point, and I just never did it until now. The black 97, 98 Allen Iverson jersey is just so dope, man. This jersey is so dope. And my homie's rocking it though. The black body with the black jersey, you can't tell me that don't look clean. That joint's fire. I'm so happy that I actually have it. 97, 98, this is the away jersey, as I just showed you the home. It's the same exact style, only this one is black, the other one's white. Brand new, copied on eBay. This one was a little bit more than I would have liked. It was closer to retail, but not exactly. So I saved a little bit more money. But oh man, I think that joint's clean. Like I said, I always wanted it, never got it. And I decided to hop on it. 97, 98 rolled jersey in black. And I have one more jersey I want to be showing you. So let's hop into that one. The final Iverson Mitchell & Ness authentic jersey pickup is what you see right here. Now this one is a 2002, 2003. Yep, 2002, 2003 jersey. Now I don't think this is something they wore for the entire season. I was watching someone, I forgot which channel it was that said it. They mentioned that this year they only wore this jersey for like 1 game, which I'm not entirely sure how true that is. But I got this one for an amazing deal. This one was like almost like half off of its retail price. It is a legit authentic jersey. So like I couldn't pass it up. It's not a true red. It's like more of like a brighter red, and double stitch. Everything is immaculately stitched. To the back, you got Iverson there. This is the last Iverson jersey pickup. Now let me know down below what you guys think of these pickups. Which one is your personal favorite? If I'm gonna tell you honestly which one's my personal favorite, it's the black one, because that's the one that I wanted the most out of all of them. But now that I have all of them, I love every single one of them. You will see me rocking these periodically. Follow me on Instagram. I have a plan, an idea. It's too cold to do it now. At least it's gonna be too cold to do it. But have an idea when the weather starts to break next year. And I have a lot of jerseys I'm gonna be sharing with you. Trust me, there's a lot of jerseys, and they're all Mitchell & Ness, which is kind of sad. Now, the one jersey that I do not have that I want was his Georgetown college jersey that Mitchell & Ness released this year, but they sold out pretty quick. And people are selling the Swingman for like the price of the authentic, which to me is ridiculous. And the authentic is going for like double the price pretty much, and I'm not spending that much money on that jersey. So if it happens to restock, maybe I'll be able to get my hands on it, or if I can find a good price or a good deal, maybe I'll get my hands on it. But at the same time, it ain't really that deep. I got all of these and tons of others like I mentioned. So when I happen to get that one, I get it. But right now, it is what it is. Follow me over on IG. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. There is like a whole jersey community out there in YouTube that I kind of just discovered in the past couple months. And I want to shout out some of the people that I watch, but I'm going to wait until I show you guys more jerseys, because these dudes have been instrumental in kind of teaching me the game about these jerseys because I really didn't know much. But I'm happy I was kind of able to equip myself with some knowledge from those individuals. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button, thumbs it up. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it, if you guys enjoyed jerseys. Like I mentioned, I have a lot to show you, but it only makes sense to really show you if you guys would be interested and you guys like it. So hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, and to let me know. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Peace.